Previously on Cynda Talks.
You've come down with a case of Sonic Mania.
What's that?
You don't remember the Sonic Mania commercials? By the Mania, for the Mania?
There was one more Sonic game released in 2017.
Uh-huh.
Ah! Doc, wait! I don't want to play Forces! Oh, great crap, I played Forces!
Now this video is more of an extension of my Sonic Mania video I did a while back. That's where I explain my history with the series, but long story short, I really got into the series back around December of 2017 when I bought Mania. A few weeks later I picked up Forces for the Switch. I had heard about all of the extremely mixed reviews of Forces. People really didn't like this game very much. But hey, maybe I'll like it? Here's my opinion. There's really no beating around the bush here. Sonic Forces is a fundamentally broken game with a subpar story, bland visuals, an 8 out of 10 soundtrack, unheard of for Sonic, a barely functioning physics engine, and controls that would make the boat in Mario Sunshine blush. Wow, okay. But why do I not like this game? First of all, the visuals don't really feel like Sonic very much. If you take a look at the older games, they're extremely vibrant, but Sonic Forces goes for sort of edgier color and visual choices, with stages like Chemical Plant and Casino Forest that are so dark that they're actually hard to see on something like the Switch in handheld mode. The visuals in general are also pretty bland. Most of these locales lack a lot of originality. Green Hill and Chemical Plant were both in Generations, and they looked better in that game. The only really unique, interesting area is Casino Forest, but even then, the only cool looking level is the one Classic Sonic level it has. Oh yeah, Classic Sonic is in this game. Why? He just kinda shows up for like 3 levels and vanishes at the end. Like literally, he just shows up, and then he just vanishes at the end. While the story in a Sonic game isn't the most important thing in the world, this game reeks of missed potential. They brought back tons of villains from Sonic's past, but instead of battling them, there's just this like 20-second cutscene of Sonic getting beat up and fighting only like half of the villains throughout the game. And then, instead of being this redemption arc of Sonic and Co. winning back the world from Eggman and the new villain Infinite, and combating the Phantom Ruby returning from Sonic Mania, it's more or less Sonic and Co. absolutely steamrolling the bad guys with virtually zero roadblocks, besides a couple of boss fights that barely affect the story, and bits of dialogue that only imply that Team Sonic is losing.
80% of our forces have been wiped out, and we've lost contact with the rest.
One flip of the Phantom Ruby switch and everything falls apart on us. The rookie is our only hope now.
Let me explain this in more live-action terms.
Soldiers, we're under attack! Retreat! Get out of there!
Sure thing, boss. I'm also kind of disappointed that they wasted the Phantom Ruby's origin. They really underutilized the Phantom Ruby as well. Apparently it's just another one of Eggman's inventions. It would have been really interesting to have it be a significant threat on its own, instead of just being a MacGuffin for the villains to use. But I think the worst part is that Mania did a better job at making the Ruby seem dangerous. In Forces, it's just kind of this stone of power, while in Mania, it kind of felt like its own sentient thing. Whatever, Forces' story could have been really cool. Now, the gameplay. This game uses an updated Sonic Generations engine, which is weird, because Generations felt wonderful to control, but Forces is a disaster when it comes to controls. The air acceleration of the characters in Forces has been changed in a way that's hard to explain, but basically, jumps are extremely easy to undershoot, and while modern Sonic has been given a double jump, it barely works, boosting him barely a quarter of his jump height. Combined with the awful air control, This leads to the double jump typically doing more harm than good. Luckily, Classic Sonic feels a bit better to control. He's been given the drop dash move from Mania that gives him a speed boost. He also feels better to control since his levels are in 2D. Except, he has a speed cap. But frankly, this does make some sense. In Generations, the spin dash was absolutely broken. Classic Sonic could blast into light speed with one charged up spin dash. Except, oh my gosh, they didn't put a speed cap on the ball form. Which means the spin dash is nearly as broken as Generations. Despite all of this, however, the Classic Sonic levels are actually pretty decent, resembling something similar to Generations, even having some multi-tiered level design here and there. But even so, they don't have nearly as much going on as something like that game, and as a result feel barren compared to Generations. The modern Sonic levels follow the boost formula that has been around since Unleashed, and while I do really like this formula, Forces feels quite a bit slower than previous games. Boosting should feel incredibly powerful and fast, but they got rid of the motion blur effect seen in Generations, and as a result, Sonic goes about as fast as Colors Sonic. But there it made sense, since Colors was really more of a 2.5D game, but Forces uses quite a bit of 3D hallway design, so it doesn't make too much sense here. Plus, instead of designing stages that have a lot of varied terrain and rolling hills and things of that sort, Forces has Sonic boosting through hallways, very flat, basic terrain. But even so, there is a tiny bit of fun to be extracted from these levels. Now, Force's new addition to the Sonic cast, the Avatar. Oh my gosh, this nightmare is a disaster to play as. Overall, they use basically the same physics as modern Sonic, but can't double jump unless they're either the bird species, or they're in a mission partnered with modern Sonic. To compensate, they've been given an arsenal of different customizable weapons to fight off badniks with, except the weapons are all beyond overpowered, and if you want to not use your Destruction Blaster, you can use this nightmarishly slow grappling hook that works just like modern Sonic's homing attack, but really slow. And since you can't boost out of it, the awful acceleration kicks in again. There are also species type abilities, but I can't remember more than like 2 of them, so I won't bother. But the Avatar's place in the story is almost comical. It reads like fan fiction. So after Sonic's defeat, and everyone thinks he died, yeah, that's pretty dark, your self-insert character has to fix everything. Unfortunately, the Avatar starts out as a wimpy loser. This is naturally shown through a flashback cutscene that lasts like 30 seconds, and this cutscene after you rescue Sonic. Except you don't rescue Sonic. After months of Team Sonic wondering where Sonic went, the Avatar gets sent in to free him from the Death Egg. Except Sonic frees himself. The Avatar does nothing. There is no reason for this character to exist besides a small plot point at the end of the game's story and the character creator aspect, which of course I utilized to create the stupidest looking character imaginable. Look, he's got a Santa beard and Minecraft shoes.
It's beautiful. It's perfect.
Now that we've spent 2.5 hours playing all of these levels, we finally reached the end of the game, and on my first playthrough 2 years ago, I remember this final boss being way harder than it was this time. I even played on hard mode, and I only had to restart like once or twice. Even the levels leading up to the final boss were way harder. But after Sonic and the Avatar defeat Eggman, everything returns to normal. Except I'm going to again throw out the ol', but actually there's more content here. Because there is. Episode Shadow was free DLC released for Forces, and don't get your hopes up. It's a 3-level long prequel to the main game, with it kinda, a little bit, giving us some infinite backstory. We learn how he became so edgy.
I'm not weak. I am not weak.
And also a little intro into the Ruby's power. Nothing crazy. So that brings us to the end of the game. Was it bad? You know what? Not really. It's not good though. I mean, come on, it's Sonic Forces. This game is really just a rushed feeling version of Sonic Generations, and you can even see some of this rushed nature in the game itself, with the characters mentioning Seaside Hill from Sonic Heroes, but no one ever goes there. And also with all of the tell, not show, text-based cutscenes. But hey, at least the soundtrack's alright. It's kind of bland, but there's still some really good tracks in here, like classic Sonic Chemical Plant.
Sonic Forces. Was it as bad as I thought it was gonna be? No, it's really not that bad. But like I said before, this isn't necessarily a good game. You know, this isn't the worst Sonic game, even though it's not very good. So what is the worst Sonic game? I don't know. I haven't played them all.